So here's why most cold calls fail in the first 30 seconds. You're talking about problems your prospect doesn't think they have. So after making over 100,000 cold calls, training sales teams over in 160 different industries, I've found that every prospect conversation has 4 levels to it. Most salespeople never actually get past level 1. They're swimming at the surface, while all the real problems, the ones that actually get people to buy, are buried underneath. I call this the Iceberg Method. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to walk you through exact frameworks I use to take any cold call from the I'm not interested to tell me more by going deeper than your competition ever will. This is a live training I did with an actual sales team. You're going to see me build this framework on the whiteboard in real time with specific examples. For this example, restaurants, HOAs, franchise businesses, but you can adapt this to whatever industry that you sell in. So if you've ever felt like your prospects don't see the value in what you offer, this is going to change how you approach every single conversation. Them saying no budget is just the root cause of that is they just don't see the value. But if it was something, a budget for something that could bring in twice the amount of customers around the holidays. I mean, think of it, if a restaurant, there's so many options around the holidays for people to go. Yeah. What's the experience people are going to have if we had this here? And like there wasn't as much stress around the holiday, like, because that's a big thing for whoever it is. Not only there's no budget, but if they only see it as like, oh, the customer experience. No, how are you actually building up that experience? Maybe kind of like test holidays throughout the year. I worked in catering, so I understand it a little bit. And people just had more joy and more like there's more business the more there was that experience around the holidays. So we have to turn it more into kind of a revenue thing, which all of a sudden, what budget could they open up? Here's the thing with cold calls, because a lot of people are kind of like, does it still work? What do I say? Prospects don't have problems. Like, why would they listen to us? Like, just straight cold. That's normal to feel that way. So I don't want you ladies to feel like, oh, like Joe's just gonna come in, teach us a bunch of mindset and just like call. That's not the way to go about it. But what do we have so far as like, how do we feel about the expectations we have to meet based off calls? What's maybe some of the hiccups that we might face making those calls? Had we done them in the past? I'm not here to change what you're already doing well, what you already feel confident doing, just to add layers to help you feel more confident and just understand it's all cold calling is a system. So once we learn the system, then it's like, okay, how do we gamify the system in our head to allow us to understand that even if we get a no, even if we get an objection, even if people like hang up on us, there's actually something to learn from that, and to how not to take the, I guess, what do you want to call the rejection of cold calls? It can feel like it's just like, oh, I just don't want to call. I don't want people saying no. That's normal to feel that way, but there's actually a way to gamify it. What are some of these deeper problems our prospects and customers have? I hate to break it to you, but you are interrupting their day. I don't know if I can undo that part. Now, there is a way to interrupt someone's day to help them feel like, oh, like this might... All right, quick pause before we keep going. If you're watching this video, there's probably part of you that knows you should be making more calls, but something keeps holding you back. Maybe it's the rejection. Maybe it's not knowing what to say when they push back. Maybe it's just that pit in your stomach every time you pick up the phone. That's call reluctance, and it's costing you commissions every single day you let it run your schedule. That's why I built a cold call resilience method specifically for this. I've made over 100,000 cold calls because I figured out how to make rejection feel success instead of fear. So if you want to stop letting this run your cold call life, right? I have 30-minute call reviews role plays to allow you to kind of see what exactly you're doing or saying that's possibly triggering that resistance, therefore that reluctance. So let's help you build back that resilience. Okay, back to it. Here, I'll give an example. If like our day was interrupted because we looked down and there's $100,000, would we stop and pick it up? Now, obviously we're not like saying, hey, we're gonna make them $100,000, but it's like, it's all of the perception. How do we take the resistance of them feeling like we interrupted their day to like, hey, this is a conversation that, oh, I could use this, or I might need this, or I haven't really thought about this. So there's 4 areas of trust. When someone is perceiving, hey, what's my likelihood? Okay, now that I know there's an outcome I could have, well, how do I know like you're gonna be the one who's gonna help me? It's gonna be trust in you, trust in themselves, trust in either past experience, or you could call this their current situation, past experience, or their friends and peers. We probably have the least amount of trust of all these 4. So how do we actually increase the trust? Very simply, we help them see things in a different way that either themselves, their current situation or past experience, or peers have never thought of before. That's why I like the words like new ideas. You help them what I call see the unforeseen. See things in a way they've never seen it before. It's knowledge they didn't realize that they could have. So now all of a sudden that outweighs trust they might have in themselves or the past experience. How I like to start calls is just like, hey Lauren, it's just Joe Warner. Curious if you could help me out for a second. And there's obviously tone and different things involved, but if you kind of just say it like that, they're like trying to place where they might know you. Versus if we start things like, hey, this is so-and-so with, light up your holidays. The reason for my call is that pattern of language triggers them to be, this is a sales call I wasn't expecting. So if I do that, oh yeah, sure, what's going on? Yeah, I didn't know if like you or someone on your team over there, maybe a manager might be opposed to looking at some new ideas, maybe around either your holiday experience or the environment of your store that might just help bring in more clients without you having to do much extra work. The goal isn't to pitch them right here. The goal is just to catch their attention.